Hey, happy Tuesday. I hope you're having a fabulous day. I am, of course, because I decided it. It is voting day, preliminary voting day here in St. Pete. So if you are local and you haven't gotten out to vote yet, make sure you go do that. Just a reminder that that is happening today for all my local peeps around here, and I think it's all of Pinellas County. So make sure you vote, and if you are not here, make sure that you check when your voting is coming and make sure you get out there and vote. So that's my little PSA first, but I wanted to hop on today. I've been going back and forth with some stuff, and I've been trying to figure out what I was going to do, and I started second guessing myself. So, I'm sure this has happened to you too, right? You come up with an idea, you think of something, and it goes on in your brain for a while, and you're like going back and forth on it. Should I do it? Should I not do it? Is this the right thing? Like, all these things come up, right? And then you sometimes dismiss it and don't take action. Or you do, and if you do, one of two things can happen. Either it's a success or it's a learn. We never fail around here. We either succeed or we learn from it, right? So it doesn't matter what it is. But in my case, I have been kicking around the idea of a podcast, and I've been thinking about this for a while. Actually, I actually had an intern a few months ago, right when COVID started, and he was going to help me get launched with it, and then COVID happened, and things happened, and life happened, and it never happened. So then I had another one of my friends who actually is in the podcast industry, a great audio engineer. We're just randomly talking one day, and he's like, "Jen, what do you need to do to get this podcast started?" And I was like, well, I just need to do it, right? So then I've been thinking about it. We've been chatting about it. I've been talking to other people about it. And it's like, what is this thing going to look like? What is this podcast going to be? And I knew I wanted to do something that would really showcase people that have had success online and have had success with their businesses. But for me, my big thing is helping people start and grow their side gigs, because that's how I started. And when I first started, I had no idea what the heck I was doing when I started my business. I did it with a full-time job. And literally, for those of you that haven't heard my story, my first website was on Vistaprint. Right? So like, I have done all of the things. I've tried it all, but I was able to do it all while working a full-time job. So I really love to help people that are doing that same thing. But as I was going through this process of thinking about this podcast, I was like, well, what should it be? Like, what would a good name be for this? And I'm like, we went through a whole bunch of things. Virtually qualified, I thought that was kind of fun. And then, just online success podcast, all this. And then today I was messaging back and forth with one of my biz besties, and she's like, well, who do you like to help? And we were going back and forth again on, why I started doing this to begin with. And it's all about helping with people with their side gigs. Like, of course I can help anybody that wants to start a business. I've done it, been there, happy to help. But I really like to help people with their passions and with their projects, and, starting from where your gifts are, right? So I decided, we're talking, and I'm like, well, my membership is called Side Gig Success. So why not just name that the podcast, right? And it's so simple. It was such a simple thing because it's, so obvious. It's already what I'm doing. It's already my branding. It's already my stuff. Like, it's already there. Why wouldn't that be the podcast? But when you come up with a new idea or you're presented with a new opportunity, it is so easy to overthink this stuff, right? Has this ever happened to you? Have you ever had something and you just overthink it to where like you go completely around in a full circle before you come back to the beginning, which is where you really belong to begin with? So that's what happened to me. But I'm really happy I came to this realization. That's what it's going to be. Let me know what you think. Side Gig Success Podcast. Who wants to listen to it? Who's interested in it? Who wants to help me with this project? Who has had a side gig who has a side gig that is successful? Who has had a side gig that turned into a full-time job? I want to know all those things. So let me know. And that is my awesome message for today. Keep an eye out. It's coming. I'm going to get all my ducks in a row, but I also am, as most of you know, the queen of imperfect action. So I'm hoping to have something here sooner rather than later, but I still have, steps that have to happen. But that is my message for today. I'd love to know what you think. Who likes podcasts? Who's going to listen to it? Tell me all the things. All right, we'll talk soon. Bye.